first of all, the characters that you play, I mean, you've got such layers in these two characters because you're not only dealing with each other as a married couple, but you're dealing with, your heritage, your background, and it seems to bleed over each other in good and bad ways.
Yeah.
So are these characters, with that as a background, are they hard to approach?
I think, the first thing I thought of when I read it was it's very Shakespearean, and it's very Romeo and Juliet, two people who are soulmates and meant to be together, but every situation in life wants to keep them apart. And I am a huge fan of Romeo and Juliet in general, just the story. I've always loved it. And so to be able to kind of play a version of that set in this really Americana setting with, with this sort of like racial divide that is a very true thing, was interesting to me.
Well, it's also this clash of culture, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what, it's almost what, in season 2 especially, I feel like we're both, she tries to get away from, she tries to find her independence aside from those politics as well, which I think she realizes is not so easy to get away from.
Yeah, and season 1, and you haven't seen season 1 of Yellowstone, you have to really download the app and watch it because every episode is a movie. It's that kind of quality. But season 1, we're introducing characters, and so it's kind of, it takes a moment to kind of understand, the backstories of everybody. But you have this love for your dad, you have this love for the cowboy way of life, and yet you're like, Romeo, you give it up for Juliet.
Yeah.
In this, and what a terrific statement about love.
Right. Yeah, it's like he can't help who he actually is and where he's from, and he's trying so hard to to become a part of her family. And there's that great moment in season 1 where her grandfather says to me, until we can fix human nature, a man must stand with his people. We're not your people.
Yeah, and how poignant that is.
Yeah, and very true, and it's heartbreaking for Casey because he would love to leave all that behind,
And we talk about female empowerment, and this woman is one of the strongest women there are on television.
Yeah.
Isn't she?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's, Taylor writes her with this, intelligence and sensitivity, and I think, and she's really fighting for her freedom away from the Duttons. But yeah, and she's definitely this empowered character, which is, I'm glad you.
Well, which is nice because she's a mother. She's all of those things, and yet she really is the strong person in all of this. You're holding all of these cultures together.
Yeah, and she's at the heart of it. Yeah, she's a woman fighting for her family, and it's not easy, and it's really it really hits her hard at the end of season 1. So
well, I want to thank you both for your time. This is a
Thank
very
you.
Sweet interview, and I'm really a big fan of the show. Not only
that's
I'm trying to, I go up there and try to do set visits up there too, and it's just
come
lovely
by.
place. So thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
so much.
See you on season 3.